Alright guys, so today I got my light bar for my front bumper. It's the same simple concept, it looks like, as all the other light bars, except for you gotta take off these side covers, which they're plastic. Can't powder coat those. It looks like there's screws holding these lenses in. I'm not too sure what all it gets into on the inside, since there is a cord coming out the side. I'm not going to get into extreme detail on these ones. I'll let you know on the inside what there is, but like I said, there's a few more bolts you got to take out, take it apart, instead of just the top cover bolts and the plug in the back like the rigids. I'm going to get this powder coated, get my mounts that go in between the tow hooks powder coated, and I'm going to start on my bumpers, my front and rear, getting them painted. But I wanted to get this done because I have to get this in while I have the bumper off, because I'm not going to pull the bumper back off to put this in. So I'm going to get this torn apart and see what all it takes. Alright guys, so these are actually really flimsy cast. They're not plastic. They feel like plastic, but they are actually really flimsy cast. These are also very flimsy. They actually, I don't know if you guys can actually see it bow, but they actually bow. They're not flat anymore since I took the screws out of them. There's a rubber gasket in here. It goes on each side, goes the whole way across to the other side, which I'll take this piece of plexi out of here, lay it over there. So again, I don't know if I can get the camera in there good enough. The wires are just soldered to the circuit board like they were in the rigids. So I'll get down to the wires, I'll unsolder them, pull the wiring out, and then I can powder coat these, powder coat the frame and the those two front pieces. But I'll get these pulled out. As you see, it's got the spot in the floods too. This was a cheap one I got on eBay. It actually came with two pods too. I think it was like 35 bucks or something like that. It was just a cheap one. It's honestly not going to be used very often, but it's more or less going to be on there for looks. So I wasn't too worried about how good of quality it was. So I'm going to get it torn down and start stripping it. Alright guys, so my light bar's powder coated for the front. The brackets are in the oven now. It didn't turn out as well as I'd liked it to. My sandblaster had died not far into it. I had to try to wire wheel a lot of the stuff, and it just wasn't working real well with all the tight spaces and curves and everything. Couldn't get the wire wheels in. If you'd see this nice ding here, it was sitting on top of that toolkit there, and they both decided to fall off the stool, which I bent it back a little bit. You won't really see that, it's gonna be in the backside anyways, but yeah, didn't think that was very nice of it. But I'm gonna start putting this back together. By the time the bracket should be done, and let them cool down, and it'll all be together to get thrown in the front end whenever the bumper is painted. Alright guys, there's my light bar. There's my mounts. They're put off to the side till I get the front bumper painted and ready to put on the truck. I will say the cheaper light bar is a lot harder to put back together than the rigids. The gasket and the lens on the rigids are so much easier to put back together than these ones, because you have to like bend and squeeze this lens back in. It's way bigger than the slot that it has to go in, and it did not want to go in there. So this will go in whenever I get my bumper ready. Alright guys, so I'm going to start on my rear bumper. This is a factory Mopar black bumper. I just pulled it out of the box. It's kind of dusty. Gonna wipe it down. Then I'm gonna wet sand it get ready to paint it. Now my front bumper is an aftermarket, and I do have a new black step for the top, and it's going to stay black. I'm not painting it at all. I'm not painting any of my plastics. Everything's going to stay black, like the mirrors, my door handles. For now, everything's staying black. I'm not color matching them yet. I haven't decided what I'm doing with those yet, but for now they're staying black. But yeah, my front bumper is an aftermarket, but the rear bumper is a factory. Alright guys, so I got it sanded down. I'm gonna come back over it with the cleaner and wipe it off. In here, I did not worry as much how good it was sanded, because it's going to be covered. I mean, I'm still going to paint it and everything, but I didn't worry as much on top and stuff how good I got it sanded. I mean, you can still see where it's bright and everything, but that's all going to be covered. I mean, I'm more or less worried about the parts where you're going to see it, but I'm going to get it cleaned up and then start shooting it. Alright guys, so I got my coats. I got a few coats actually on here of the Blue Streak Pearl, and there's a couple coats on here because long story short, I left my heater on over there, and I can't run my heater and my air compressor at the same time because it blows the breaker. I gotta put a breaker in just for the air compressor, and I haven't done it yet. And I left the heater on, and I set the gun down to run over, shut the heater off, flip the breaker back on so I had air. And apparently it was warm enough in here that the nozzle must have plugged up a little, and it had shot little specks in there, and I had to sand them out. And I thought I had it coated good, and then my stupid airline decided it wanted to swing into it and put another mark into it. So I ended up fixing that too. So I have like 4 coats on this thing. So I'm waiting for it to dry now, and then I'm going to throw a clear coat on it. And hopefully I don't run into any problems with the clear coat, which, knowing my luck, I will. But it doesn't look too terrible. Alright guys, I got my front bumper in here. It's a fog light bumper. It's aftermarket. You'll see there's scuffs and scratches all over it. I received, I think, 3 of them from this company, and this was the least scratched one out of all of them. I messaged them multiple times. They refused to do anything about this one after they had sent me multiple ones, and I pretty much got stuck with this one. And I'm gonna have to obviously fix all these scratches and everything on it, the scuffs, just to make sure it's smooth before I put the paint on it. I'm not putting a new valance in it. I'm just going to use the one that's on my bumper already. It's pretty clean still, so I'm not too worried about it. I haven't decided yet if I'm putting the front license plate back on it or not. I think I'm going to, but I'm not sure. If not, then I just have these holes in the front bumper. So I think I'm going to put my license plate back on. Maybe get a different license plate for the truck. Just haven't decided yet. I'm going to wait though for a little bit until I put it on. So I'm going to get this scuffed up, see how bad these scratches are, if I can't sand them out, or what the deal is with them. Hoping I don't have to bond to them or anything, but yep. Alright guys, so there's the front bumper. There's the rear bumper. The rear bumper, so long story short, it's been sanded and repainted and cleared, and it's got peel. It's bad. Well, it's not terrible, but it's not dry yet, but you can already see it. So it's below the paint. It needs sanded pretty far down. Like, I was even hitting the primer below in some spots, and it still had peel in it, and I'm like, I gave up. But it's better than it was, so I'm gonna throw it on the truck for now. Later on, I'm gonna pull it off and redo it. I don't have time to do it right now because I gotta get it on the truck. But the front bumper came out pretty well. It's probably pretty close to the factory peel and everything. I don't know if you can see it on the camera real well, but I already scratched it, of course. I caught it on my belt buckle, moving it, which is right here. Hopefully the grill will cover it. But so that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video. The next one, I will get them on the truck, but they're both painted. The light bar and stuff's powder coated. But like I said, next video, I will get them on the truck, get the fog lights in, get the light bar in, and then go from there. Thanks for watching.